Hey, it's your Uncle Bubbers. This is going to be episode 6 of our hardcore solo self-found Titan Quest II Tempest. Last episode, we kind of rushed a bunch of side quests. I think because of that, we're going to head over and do one of the main quests real quick. It's over on the left side of the map. So we'll go back to that waypoint we grabbed forever ago.
You again. Still, you're not.
I love when you go too fast and all the enemies just pop out of the ground. It's not just an Ichthian thing either. See humans do it and everything, it's just kind of funny. I thought I killed them all. Or did I just not get close enough to the cage? I think that's what it was. No, I'm next to the cage. Pretty sure I killed all the captives too. Or killed all the Ichthians. Huh. That might have bugged actually.
No.
Oh, there we go.
Ralkos's temple, defiled by Ichthians.
Get me out of this cage. Oh,
So that's the second thing I did wrong by going too fast. We got to see all the Ichthians pop out of the ground, but we were too fast for Phylon to keep up. We're a few levels ahead of stuff now. I think I need to go back to the statues. We'll ramp up the challenge a bit more. One of the upcoming boss fights. There's a miniature kind of like boss event here that you got to complete, but there's a boss fight that I'll be doing right after, and it's already pretty gnarly. But if we increase the level, it'll be that much worse.
Here, careful. Aristino's spirit will never forgive me if something happens to you. Somehow, the Titan
Curse
Inca
you,
is
Glaukos!
holding the priestess
Show
captive.
yourself, you coward! No,
I fear she won't last much
what am I
longer.
saying?
I doubt any mortal is capable of
Glaukos,
holding that much
deliver us.
energy for long.
It's a really cool looking area. If I turn off the HUD, especially. All right, so we'll fight off a few waves of people here. Stay way down here. There's a warlock that spawns here, and they are very nasty, especially on hardcore. They have a couple abilities that are just nearly one-shots. Yeah, I need to up the difficulty for sure. One passive, one active. We'll do one into there. Our passive goes into here.
I'm in my right mind again. Thank.
That's the Iker. Absorb its power.
Why did you touch him?
So with any of those divine challenges, they always reward you a bunch of divinity there. So now that we got that, we can really ramp up. We're getting close to maxing out Storm now, which is nice. Moly root. That one's not that common. That one's tougher to get to, so you almost never use that one. That would have been nice to wear. Takes too much might, though.
Great. But
Faithful Nicias. Forsaking Glaucus for an untrustworthy god like...
Okay, so now we can come up here to Payne's Vineyard, which is like around level 17, 18. So it's a couple levels higher than us.
Anne,
So we'll hold off on that.
can't believe it.
you never put much faith in.
Back to Pyrgos. I'm going to start handing in some of the quests that I've gotten completed but didn't actually turn in yet. I think I've got several of those.
One at a time. Bye.
Sell off what we got.
Let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Actually, what was it?
It's my duty to serve.
I think I checked all that, yeah. I'm not really hurting on anything right now. My gear feels okay.
How'd you go?
Nice. Divinity. Active skills. Do one more. One more point into that and it's done finally. Pass, so we can finally do a feat on this. Projectile or spell. I always do spell damage. First off, because we've already got a stack of projectile damage going, and you may not necessarily have a stack of spell damage going. We do with like the lightning and stuff. But second, it's basically because I like cast speed. So we'll do the cast speed first, we'll do the projectile second. And they both buff us because this is a projectile and it is a spell. That'd be nice to max that one out finally too. Move on to something else. Hopefully we'll have... I think there's not much else to buff before we get to Lightning Bringer. Maybe more into the projectile stuff, potentially. Rage Effect, yeah. Never mind, yeah, we'll do Rage Effect for sure after that. Attributes. We'll do Agility and Vigor. What other quests have we not done yet? Oh, we didn't... Yeah, report to the chick here at the bottom of the elevator. So that storyline smoke signal that we did a few episodes ago, going up that hill and then coming back down. That's what this is. You come back to her.
You're welcome.
So there's that done. Headhunt, we need one more metal. We're getting ready to do that in a little bit. Back. Embers, Heroic Spirit, yeah, that's all kind of up in the same area. Alright, so we will probably push up into that area in this episode, but first we are going to raise difficulty before I forget. So now that we're level 15, a lot of the stuff in the early part of the map is too low. Or at least not enough of a challenge, I'll say. So what we're going to do, if we have enough money, we will elevate enemy level. So now the minimum level of anything on the map is going to be 15 no matter what. And then I will raise... Let's see if we can get one of those. I probably should have done that first, actually. Maybe not. Well, everything is +1 level higher, so it should be area level 16. Yeah. We'll go to the graveyard here. Point we had saved from forever ago. And at the end of this whole event is going to be a boss fight that can be potentially very nasty. The boss has a lot of health, and he has a lot of adds, and he has a lot of very damaging abilities. He's a big challenge, like I said. Even if you haven't raised the level up, he can be a challenge for a lot of people. That. Grab this torch first at Brazier.
You don't belong here. Back to the underworld with you.
That opens up this little door here.
Wow.
Grab that. On the way out. side quest here. It's not really a side quest, kind of, but I guess it is.
A hero's grave. Quick, use the incense.
You think to send us away?
Gotta kill 3 of these lieutenants. And
We will never
all 3 of them have
retreat.
pretty nasty abilities. This guy has a couple abilities that hit really hard. Blade of Thanatos, nice.
I was Hyllus, charioteer to the great Aristomenes. Together we drove back the Ichthyans from Pyrgos plain. The days when I tasted the glory of battle are over.
Second one down here.
Another hero's grave. Let's hope this one gives us less trouble than the last.
That first one was not as hard as I expected. Maybe because we've kind of beelined a lot of the lightning stuff, because I saw a lot of lightning strikes hitting him. So we might have enough damage to where this isn't going to be quite as much of a challenge. It'll still be a challenge. I don't want to underestimate it. Man, that's really fast.
Of Aristomenes.
And they're still ahead of us in
When my
levels.
sharp bronze spear bit Ichthian flesh, their families wept, but everyone must meet their fate eventually. Forgive me, great king.
I'll look at all that loot in a second. Guess I'll check it now. Attack speed. Dual resist. With health and vigor, which is more health. Yeah. Yep. That's like a strict upgrade. Super nice. 88 health, but we lose triple res. Yeah, that's kind of what we had before. I'm not going to do that. Alright. Necrotic bones. So the Ichthian fins and the necrotic bones, and then like a rigid carapace. Those tend to be like the 3 most common things I find, charm-wise. I guess it's just because there's a lot of undead here, so you'll find tons of necrotic bones all throughout the game.
A hero's grave. Better prepare for a fight.
I thought there were some guys that spawned. I was trying to clear out everything first.
A challenger. Do you think you can best me at feats of cunning?
Go ahead and open that door for later. If you approach that door from the outside, for some reason it won't open. So that's the reason why, is because they want you to come into the graveyard and do all this stuff first. So it's nice to come into the graveyard and at least open that door. Weapon lightning damage.
The enemy's weak.
So this guy's nasty. He has like a Frost Nova ability right there.
He
Yeah.
asked me for a plan. We covered ourselves in fish guts and snuck into the Ichthian camp, killing their leaders while they slept. But in the end, I was not clever enough. I accept my fate.
I'm starting to not have enough knowledge to put stuff on. I need to start cranking that up again. 95, yeah, I need to start doing some more knowledge. Maybe. Honestly, our weapon's fine. I mean, I could probably use that for quite a while. 25% lightning damage with 8% implicit cast speed. I mean, that's great. I should say good enough. May not be great, but it's good enough. Alright. Looks like our points are spent. We have our aura turned on. Should be good to go. This chest always has a bunch of items in it. For some reason. Cool down. Yeah. So lightning strike excels. Any type of lightning build that has
Caution.
lightning strikes
Aristomenes
coming
is a
down
legend for a reason.
excels in this
You have
fight.
the gifts of the gods, but be careful.
Because all around the outside of this circle here, there's skeletons that spawn infinitely. And as you're fighting him or any other skeleton, like your lightning strikes are just going off constantly. You're basically just doing
This
whack-a-mole,
army of dead can't tell an Ichthian
constantly
from a
erasing
priestess.
all the extra
They'll
spawns.
slaughter
It's super
everything
nice.
that lives.
So lightning is very, very good for this fight, just for lightning strikes, if you spec into that.
And you will not stand in my way. All who face my army shall fall.
So I'll try to focus on just him. Again, I want to stay close if I can. He has a really nasty ranged ability. That right there, little magma burst, is pretty nasty. It's quite a bit of damage. I don't want to damage test it. Because again, this guy is very damaging. I'm watching my barrier cooldown on number 1. I'm doing barrier and potions, Dash. That's my main thing this fight. I'm not even... My damage is the last thing I'm concentrating on. I'll just brainlessly right-click on whatever is on the screen, but I'm mainly just watching my dash and barrier. There we go. Yeah, that wasn't as bad as what I thought. If I would have turned it up a few notches, it would have been much worse. Alright, Divinity. Finish this off finally. 2 cooldown charges. Perfect. And what do we need? I guess we'll get the extra repetition on here too. So, just a second, and 1 more point, we'll have that unlocked. Then passive points, we will continue with this. Attributes, we will do knowledge, like I said, just to catch up some.
Great heroes are not immune to delusions of grandeur. The dead should rest now, at least.
It's all gonna be junk. Some daggers and swords can have like decent cast stats because they'll have implicit attack and cast speed, and they can get cast speed on top of it. Like that's pretty good. That's like 15% cast speed. It's just if it had percent lightning damage instead of weapon lightning damage, that'd be pretty nice. But I might actually save that on this ancient weapon set I've had from like episode 3 or something. Just in case.
I'm carrying too much.
Yeah, spell damage and cast speed. Yeah, it's not as good. It's not worth switching to. If that fire damage was lightning, then yeah, it definitely would be worth switching to. There it is, lightning damage, but it's got attack speed. Yeah, I'll just junk that as well. It's not worth trying to juggle everything over. Just go dump all this real quick.
Need quality.
Because I haven't checked vendors in a while. Ooh, 5 health regen a second. Yes, please. I will take that every time. Thank you. So we got 5 health regen on the health and 1 on the energy. The max I've seen, even at like level 45, the max I've seen on energy is like +3. And the max I've seen on health is like 14. But still, yeah, I'm going to try to do as much of that as I can. Let's go get the rest of that and sell it real quick. Might even pick up all the grays just for a little extra money on this trip. So I think I'm going to use my money to increase the difficulty again. Yeah, there's percent lightning with implicit cast speed. I mean, it's getting close where it could be kind of decent. This was just cast speed, right? 8% cast speed. Yeah, so I guess that's technically better. It's 11% total cast speed, but nothing else good on top of that. Yeah, so you can see daggers are good, and you can just look at all the daggers in my inventory. The reason is because a lot of these skeletons have daggers on them, and they drop those, so some people with certain builds, if you can somehow avoid damaging Aristomenes himself and just farm skeletons, first off, it's like a okay XP farm. It's kind of cheesy, but it's like, yeah, you can kind of do that, like farm skeletons in this fight for free, like for XP. But it's if you're needing daggers for like a rogue build or any sort of melee build or even caster build like I'm doing right now, you can get a whole boatload of daggers dropping in that fight for sure. Just fill your inventory with them. Sell this off. So, that red item that dropped from him, every time you kill a boss like that the first time, they'll drop kind of a pseudo quest currency item. It's called a remnant, and you take that up to one of these shrines, and as soon as you do, it'll say use remnants. So we'll use a remnant. It says we've unlocked the memory for Aristomenes. So before we check that out, I'll see how many times I can ramp this up. Yeah, so dude, another couple notches. It's good. So we're at 18. I like it. So that's +3 of the minimum level that I had whenever I paid last time, and I was 15 whenever I paid last time, so it's 15 +3 is the minimum level. That's why it says 18 instead of 19. So we're going to go back. I'll show you what that does. I think it gives you a little bit more XP when you do it this way as well. So now that we have the memory of that unlocked, every boss will have like a little light pillar, a little pedestal here where you can go and pay money to spawn them again. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I need money to actually do that. We'll leave our TP there then. But that's how you farm bosses in this game. Is you fight them the first time, you get their remnant, you turn it in at the statue, and then you can just pay money every time to farm them again. So as long as you've got money, you can keep fighting them over and over and over.
Is that your work? So it was a...
And they will usually drop as much money as it took to fight them, almost as much or just as much as like a raw pile of money. So you'll break even almost pretty much every time just from that, but then they drop like all their gear and stuff that you sell as well. So you do make a profit. It's just, it's very slow the way they have it balanced right now. It's very, very slow to try to make a profit from that, but you can. That's like the main way to farm in the end game right now is just find a boss that you like to do. It's like maybe your build is particularly good against, and just do that. Keep paying money to spawn them over and over and over. And I do want to do that at least one time here. Oh yeah, I think my build can actually reach that far. Yep, just barely. So that is Canis, that ghost down there. We're gonna help him out. That's the guy we've been looking for this whole time. Tons of health, but it's almost not really that good anymore. That was 3 venomous cobras at once right there, so I definitely used my barrier. Oh, if it's at lightning damage and cast speed, that would have been great. I might switch to that anyway. It's a huge armor increase. But we'd lose the pierce armor. affix, so it's roughly the same armor anyway, kind of. Not really, but... Yeah, we'll just keep what we got, that's fine.
You there? I could use a hand filleting these fishies! You've got some spine, eh? There are more gillheads coming. Yes! Nibble us all you want, little fishies! We'll cut you to pieces! Stand strong, my friend! Put the fear of mankind to them!
Lightning bolt feels really good still. It's just amazing.
I think they've given up! Gave them something to be afraid of, didn't we? You and I want to thank fishing.
Alright, so he says, go find my sword. His sword is just north of us.
Wits about him than Aristomenes and his ilk in the graveyard did, didn't he? Perhaps he escaped the underworld before he drank from Lethe, the river of forgetfulness.
We'll grab that for him real quick and probably end the episode after that. Oh yeah. It's that teeth-like stone guy. He's the one who has the sword.
This sword must belong to Canis. We should go return it to him.
We're gonna fight this dude. This is the last of our 4 commanders we've been working on the whole time. Boom. Medallion number 4. Spell damage, cast speed. It's not really an upgrade. I am going to come up here real quick, drop a portal right there, come up and fight a few things and grab a waypoint, come back down. So just at the top of this is secret smoke signal number 4 right there. So we've gotten 4 out of 5 of those already. We'll do that in a bit. So this is the scavenger. This is the gambler that we said we're not going to use because he makes things way too easy. So we come back to Canis and turn this in. Some people wait to turn this in until they are max level, because this is the one like epic item in the game that can potentially break like item level limits. So he'll always drop an epic, which is purple for my color scheme. It's a decent weapon, it's got resistances and stuff. It's a good like defensive one-hander, glancing hit chance. And again, glancing hits are just a chance to take half damage. So if you look at your defensive stats, go down to glancing hits there. If you do glancing melee, it'll just do this. Glancing projectiles, just this. But this is glancing hits, which is both of them. So if we put that on, it would give us 13% on both, which basically means cut this in half, and it's a 6.5% chance to, or it's a 6.5% damage reduction, roughly. So anytime you see glancing hit chance, just cut it in half and assume it's like damage reduction versus melee and projectile. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, it's a good item. Good defensive one-hander, like I said. It's just not useful for this current guy. We will be tossing that. So I guess we'll end the episode there. So this has been the end of episode 6. We will clear up some more stuff in the next one. Thanks for watching.